Yeah. I know. Okay. I'm back.
Here we go. All right. I'm out here at First Energy Park with Jesse Biddle. Pretty much the first day of the season. It's an exhibition 2 days before opening day. Just talk about, your first impressions upon arrival here at First Energy Park. I know you stopped through the stadium once. We talked about that a little while ago. But, to be in here in the underbelly of the park as a player here, as the season's getting ready to begin, just talk about, your first impressions of everything here in the facility.
The facility is great. I mean, that was my first impression. I got to go into the in the locker room here, and it's nice. It's really nice. I mean, they do a very good job of making their players feel comfortable. So, I mean, I couldn't really be asking more. It's a low-A team with this kind of stuff. It's pretty nice. So I'm excited.
How'd you feel about how your spring went? Highs, ups, was there ups and downs, highs and lows? Were you kind of maybe surprised to be starting the season here?
I don't want to say I was surprised to start here. I knew it wasn't a given that I was going to be in Lakewood, but, I knew that I put in the time and the work in the off season, so I was going to be able to handle it, and I just was hoping that I was going to be able to pitch well enough to prove to the Phillies that I was going to be ready for it. And I started out really well, started pitching really well. Had a couple starts that were interesting. They weren't bad, but they were just, working on stuff. I was throwing a lot of change-ups when I probably wouldn't be in normal situations just to get used to them. But yeah, I mean, there weren't a lot of lows. I mean, I think it was pretty smooth. They said that was one of the smoothest spring trainings that the Phillies have ever had. So it was definitely a great one to start out with.
Just talking to the coaches a few moments ago, and obviously you have a little bit of history. Chris Trivia in Williamsport, short season ball last year, and then you're probably working closely with Coach Steve all spring long. And they had a lot of great things to say about you. Just talk about your coaching staff and coming in here with Lakewood and these guys behind you.
I couldn't ask for anything more. I mean, it was the first, in spring I met Schrank and Greg Legg for the first time. But they were, both just open. They were super relaxed about everything. They just said, hey, if you want to talk to me, come talk to me. My door is always open, and, just be upfront and honest about everything. And that's a pretty good way to be. And then, I had Truby last year and for Williamsport, and he's been nothing but supportive. A lot of times you'll find coaches who are either favoring pitchers or position players, but in this situation, he favors both, and he does a great job of managing everybody.
You're going to probably slide into the 3 spot in the starting rotation. That'll give you a start coming up this weekend. Mm-hmm. So you had a bit of a layover all week here. What's your routine this week to keep your routine and keep your body going right?
Well, I'm going to be maintaining my workouts. I've already come up with a pretty good workout routine that's been working for me so far. And then, tomorrow I'll be throwing a bullpen. And, then day off, and then I'm ready to go. I mean, it's going to be just pretty traditional how I've been doing it, and whatever I've been doing so far is seeming to work, so I'm not going to change anything.
And the last thing for you, what was maybe the highlight of spring training for you? Did you get to maybe rub elbows with anybody you kind of were looking forward to getting to be close with or learn from?
Mm-hmm. I would say probably the biggest highlight was one day we had a meeting, and nobody knew what the meeting was going to be. It was like an 8 o'clock meeting up in the conference room, and I remember I went in there, and I had my head down because it was like 8:10. It was like they were running late. Nobody knew who it was going to be, and I had my head down, and somebody hit me. So I woke up and I saw like Joe Blanton walk in. I was like, oh, hey, Joe Blanton. And then Cole Hamels walked in. I was like, oh my God, Cole Hamels like my idol. And then Cliff Lee, Roy Halladay came in. I was like, oh. So, it was pretty cool. So we got to talk from them we were probably sitting there for over an hour just listening to them talk. We were running late for stretches. I mean, we were way behind schedule because of it, but we were all just hanging on every word they said, asking questions and just kind of, these are the best pitchers in baseball. And definitely some of the best pitchers the Phillies have ever had. And just as a fan, it was incredible to be that close to them. I was sitting in the front row, and, I was just really taken aback, and I really listened to everything they had to say.
What was the audience like? Was it just you with a group of pitchers?
Just pitchers, yeah. It was all the pitchers. There's probably 90-some of us, and we were all just there in awe of everything they had to say. They were really smart, articulate guys, and it was just very interesting because they were all very different. That was what I liked about them, was that they all had their own opinions on how to play the game. And, when you look at, that's how, there's really no one way to do it, and I learned that.
I know Eric Pettis and or Jake Borup got to go out and maybe and kind of witness a big league game and maybe chart some of the pitches. Did you get to do any of that action at all this spring?
No, I did not. I was not fortunate enough to. But we had a lot of. The thing is, we got a lot of good pitchers, and a lot of guys who, I mean, they're very good. Maybe some are older than me, but it's going to be interesting to see how this season plays out because there isn't a lot of room to get called up, and I think a lot of us are going to have some